Alright, so in this video I'm going to take you guys through how to prep your image for your LED sign project. And we're going to do that within Photoshop to get it prepped, and then we're going to take it into Adobe Illustrator to actually get it set to do the acrylic cutting and things and rastering of the sign. But first you need to go onto Google and find an image that's at least 1,000 by 1,000. And if you can find a black and white image of your project theme, that's terrific. If it's a color image, I'm going to show you how to do some editing to it in Photoshop, just some real basic things, just to try to get the color out and what's called desaturating it or converting it to black and white. And then you'll be ready to go for the Illustrator component. So I have Photoshop currently open, and we're going to go ahead and create a new file. So we're going to go File, New, and we're going to make the size of the file. Well, first we'll title it. Let's call it LED sign logo or image, and we're going to change the size, the width, and the height to approximately the size of the acrylic piece that you're going to cut out, which is about 12 by 6. All right, approximately. Puts us in the ballpark anyway. Resolution 300. Color mode is CMYK currently. Background you can keep as white, and we're just going to click OK. And now what I'm going to do once I have this layout is I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Place, and I'm going to locate the image. All right, you probably have that saved into your image file, the one that you took off the internet. And this is the one I want right here. I'm going to place that image into the layout. And if I need to resize it, once you bring it in, it's going to have like these points around the image that you can resize with. Recommend hold Shift when you click on those and drag it, and see how it's keeping it proportional width to height ratio. If not, all right, and I try to do this, see how I can distort it. That's not what we're looking to do. All right, so I'm just going to make that a little larger. Something like that. I'll press Enter, and I have the image in here. Okay. The next thing I want to do is these images. We want to merge these images together to get one layer currently. So I'm just going to go down into Layer and Merge Visible. Basically, merge all those. So now we have one image to work with. Now with my particular image, I have blue and red, and I want to delete this red out. I'm going to make this white on the inside, so none of this red gets engraved. The red portion of the image gets engraved when I work with the laser engraver. So I'm going to use what's called the Magic Wand tool. It's the 4th tool down on the tool palette. I'm going to have the tolerance up to 100 for this. And you can adjust that. The lower the number, the less it'll select, basically, and the higher the number, the more of an image area it'll select. I'm just going to click on the red. I'm going to hold Shift. You see I get a plus next to the magic wand. And I'm just going to select all the red components inside of my image here. And I'm going to go into Edit and Fill. And I'm just going to fill that with white. So just like that. Alright. Control D will deselect things. So now I'm left just with blue. Now, this would probably work since it's a darker blue, and it would engrave fairly consistent, and when I would bring it over to Illustrator and converted this, it would make it black. But just to show you how to change the this color. So if I have just blue and white here, are my colors currently, I'm going to select the blue. And just another trick when you're selecting a similar color, notice how the CV portion isn't selected inside here. So I could go and hold Shift and select those like we did earlier with the red, or I could right click and go to Similar. So I right click and it's going to select Similar, and notice now everything that is blue gets selected. And what I'm going to do now is just go back into Edit and Fill, and I'm going to fill this with black. So it converts it all to black. And then I press Control D, it deselects, and this is basically an image that's ready to go. Alright, so Now what I'm going to do is I want to save this image. So I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Save As, and I want to save this as a format as a PDF. So Photoshop PDF, and give it a LED sign. You could rename it if you'd want. I could call this wrestling sign. I could, whatever file name you want to give it, and you're just going to save it. And at this point in time, you go through these prompts here, and you would be ready to now work in Adobe Illustrator, which is what we're going to look at next once it's saved as a PDF file. Again, if you have any questions to see the instructor help you through that, if you have more of a detail image, and it's a little bit tricky for you, but this is what you want. You want a black and white image scaled to the approximate size that you're going to be using in Adobe Illustrator into your final size for the LED sign. All right, good luck.